What's up guys, it's Bastian here coming at you with another 40 card Yu-Gi-Oh starter deck, and today we are looking at Kaiba starter deck all the way back from when there was nothing else really, just the Yugi and Kaiba starters. So let's jump right in. Of course we're going to start with the boss monster of boss monsters, which is Blue Eyes White Dragon. I still don't think anything beats the artwork that we get on this card. I probably should have said that in the Yugi one as well. I love the Dark Magician art on this starter, both of these. And I bought this myself with some pocket money. So we start with Blue Eyes. And what kind of made the cut for the other boss monsters, we do have Judgment because of that 2200 attack, Sword Stalker for the 2000 attack, and Gyakutenu Megami for the 2000 defense, and the 1800 attack can be okay as well for the one tribute, but there's nothing much to write home about. Again, it just shows what the quality was of the other cards that were cut out that left Gyakutenu in this deck. Okay, moving on to the effect monsters, monsters that can have an impact on the game. We got Lord of D. Of course, Lord of D goes really well with Blue Eyes, just making sure their opponent has to go through some additional hoops and loops to be able to get rid of it. And of course, we do have the flute in here as well. Lord of D. Then we got the Wicked Worm Beast, which was a tough choice really for me to leave in the deck, but again, there wasn't really anything better. It jumps back into your hand at the end of your turn. There can be some neat little combos with this, but nothing much really. So anyway, we got this here. Mysterious Puppeteer. If for any reason your opponent would leave this guy on the field, then you would be gaining quite a lot of health over a few turns. It's not great, but again, at least something where you can have a cumulative effect that you know actually can put you into quite a high health value. It's better than a Dion Kato. Monster removal, Hain, fantastic card, really good, very annoying too. It functions basically like a man-eater bug, but you can also return a monster that is yours back into your own hand, which is actually quite good in some cases. And a Trap Master, just to give us some additional back row removal. Okay, now the reason why many people would have bought this deck was the Blue Eyes and Login. We actually do get a Login in this deck. I absolutely love this card. I think the art is fantastic. An 1800 Fiend, a Dark Monster, you couldn't have wished for anything better back in those days. So we start with Login as one of our main normal summons. We also get a Battleox 1700 attack. And then we kind of just picked the best one, best of the rest. Rogue Doll 1600, Ryukishin 1600, Skull Red Bird 1550, Koji Kosi 1500, Pale Beast 1500, Mystic Clown 1500, Destroyer Golem 1500 attack, Kumori Dragon, very important because this gives us a second dragon kind of to maximize the flute. 1500, Urabi 1500, and then on the slight defensive side, Mystic Horseman only 1300 attack but 1550 defense, not that it makes much difference. And then we're left with Dark Titan of Terror on the 1300 side and Dehuman on the 1300 side. Again, very similar to that Yugi 40 card starter. And if you look at a lot of these monsters, they're rubbish really, but that's what we got in these. And then when you'll see what I cut out, it probably will make sense why we left these. Moving on to the spell cards, or how they were called back then, magic cards. We do start with a Monster Reborn, fantastic card, definitely one of the best cards in the deck. And of course the Flute of Summoning Dragon. So when you get that at least 3 but ideally 4 card combo where you have a Lord of D in play, a Blue Eyes and a Kumori Dragon in your hand, then you're probably going to win the game if you have the Flute of Summoning Dragon. How likely you're going to get that together? Very unlikely, because there's nothing to draw with in this deck, but nevertheless it is still there. My childhood dream was to have three of these decks with three Lord of the, three Flute, and three Blue Eyes to be able to just absolutely obliterate my opponent, but we never really got there. We kept Tremendous Fire because at the end of the day it is 1,000 points of direct damage. Only play this when this actually wins you the game, otherwise it's pretty pointless. And then to pump our guys, we do have a Sojourn, which increases the attack and defense of all Beast Warrior and Warrior type monsters. So in case of Beast Warriors and Warriors, Judgment, Sword Stalker are in the game there. Yeah, technically Mysterious Puppeteer and Trap Master also count. Battle Ox, of course, we have Koji Kosi and the Human. Not a massive use for Sojourn, but at least there is still some. We do have Invigoration for an Earth monster to give it plus 400 attack, minus 200 defense, and we have Dark Energy, a Fiend type, gets plus 300 attack and defense. So these are our pump spell cards. To remove monsters, we get the usual Fissure and Dark Hole combo, and for back row removal, we also get the spell and remove trap on top of the Trap Master that we have here. For trap cards, more monster removal in the form of Trap Hole and two-pronged attack. Also, kind of goes neatly with Tremendous Fire. We have Just Desserts, which deals 500 points of direct damage to your opponent's life for each monster they have on the field. So play this before you play your Dark Hole. Again, we got Ultimate Offering, which actually does bode well for the amount of creatures we have in here. And then again, we saw these in the Yugi deck as well. Ultimate Offering, Reverse Trap, Reinforcements, and Castle Walls. And that's about it, guys. This is the 40 card Kaiba version. Now let's have a look at what we actually cut from the deck to make this beauty happen. First of all, we started with Rude Kaiser. Rude Kaiser is an 1800 single tribute card. So I'm comparing this to Gyakutenu Megami, and I'm looking at Megami and I say that's just better because you get the 2000 defense. Yes, Rude Kaiser can use Invigoration. I think he also gets the buff from Sojourn, but you need to have any one of those in your hand. When you go in for a single tribute, I often would just like to have a bit more versatility, which we get from Gyakutenu Megami. So that's one we got. We caught Ogre of the Black Shadow, a 1200, 1400 Beast Warrior. Again, not much to write home about. Terra, the Terrible, a 12, 1300 Fiend. Dark Assailant, 1200, 1200 Zombie. Hitotsumi Giant, 1200 and 1000 Beast Warrior. Master and Expert, 1200, 1000 Beast. Unknown Warrior of Fiend. Ryukishin, the Inexperienced Spy. Select and see one card in your opponent's hand. Wow, really useful. And Ancient Telescope, which allows you to look at the top cards of your opponent's deck and return them back in the same order. Again, doesn't really give us much. So realistically, that wasn't that difficult of a choice. Maybe that could be something sad for perhaps keeping more Beast Warriors. Just if it's an Earth Beast Warrior like these two guys, maybe it makes a little bit of sense to run them just because they can use Invigoration and or Sojourn, but again, you need to have those cards in your hand, and there isn't much draw power. In fact, there really isn't any draw power in this deck that would allow you to kind of link these two card combos together. So that's what I've settled on, but let me know what you would settle on by leaving a comment below the video. If you like this, please leave a massive like, and why haven't you subscribed yet? You know it makes sense. But staying signing out. Up until next time, peace.